going to describe myself in 3 words. It'd be outgoing, love getting absolutely mortal, and just absolutely quality crack.
If I had to describe myself in 3 words, it would be confident, cheeky, spontaneous.
How is anyone fitting anything into that 5-minute window?
What's going on outside?
No one's really saying that are they?
Like, getting rowdy. You didn't fucking look at me.
I got tags!
And welcome back to, sadly, the last installment for this season of Talks by the Daybed with your co-host, Swaggy P. Well, not your co-host, my co-host, Swaggy P. And it is Daily speaking. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Daly.
I've really butchered that intro, but that's okay.
An impeccable intro for the final episode.
I tell you what, it's
well
beautiful.
It's
It's really
best
going to
for
reel
last.
in all. It's going to reel in all the viewers, mate. Yes, let's save the best to last for sure, mate. We have a juicy episode ahead of us. Where obviously by now, if you don't know the results, you are very behind because this is going to come out like 4 or 5 days after it had already been aired. So you're living under a rock if you haven't seen the results. But we're going to be going through that today. We're going to go through like our best moments, who we think the most forgettable Islander was and the most memorable Islander, along with some improvements that we think we can make with the podcast, and maybe some improvements that we're hoping to see from Love Island in general for next season, and what our final thoughts were really on the season itself. So let's get stuck into it, mate. Let's announce our winners. Millie and
Liam.
God, I'm so...
I was like, are you gonna say that? Or am I gonna say it? I was like, I don't know.
Well, if you didn't know, Millie and Liam are the winners of Love Island 2021, with runner-up being Chloe and Toby, 3rd place Faye and Teddy, and 4th place Kaz and Tyler, with Liberty and Jake leaving the island and breaking up after our last podcast. To be honest, we probably saw that last bit coming. It wasn't really that surprising to me.
Even if Jake and Liberty were there, I don't think they would have won it.
No, I think they would have come 5th, to be honest.
Yeah. Interesting question. If Liberty and Jake were there, who do you think would have get voted off? Between Kaz and Tyler. Really? I would have thought it would be Faye and Teddy.
See, I maybe thought that, and I really did think Kaz and Tyler had a chance of getting 3rd or 2nd, to be honest, with the Kaz stands. But
I'm surprised they got 5th. I'm surprised they got 4th.
No, I'm surprised about that.
I knew they weren't coming top 2. Like, I knew they weren't going to come top 2. I thought it was going to be clearly Kaz and Tyler 3rd and Faye and Teddy 4th, but apparently not. But
see, I think similarly. I think the reason why Faye and Teddy got so many votes was because it was such a diverse amount of people either not agreeing with what she did earlier on the season with Teddy, but more backing her. And also a lot of people not backing her. So I feel like people voted for Faye and Teddy just because they're like, she's not going to get many votes because of the whole drama happened, but I like what she did. I'm going to vote for her.
Yeah, and I think like the fan base for who's the guy? Teddy was way bigger than Kaz, I think.
For sure. The way he handled himself as well.
Yeah.
Good.
I think majority of the votes are for Teddy anyway.
Yeah.
As opposed to Faye. But, I'm not surprised. Although I would have loved to, I would have preferred if Chloe and Toby won over Millie and Liam. But, I'm happy with Millie and Liam. But I think, in the past seasons, whoever's come second has stayed coupled up longer. So I think things are looking good for Chloe and Toby, I think.
But to be honest, okay, let's look at because Kaz and Tyler got 12.27% of the vote. It then went to Faye and Teddy in 3rd place with 14.85% of the vote. So Kaz and Tyler and Faye and Teddy were really close.
Very close, yeah.
Then a huge jump up, more than double the votes, to 30.85% for Chloe and Toby, leaving a huge 42.02% of people voting for Millie and Liam. I probably would have done the same, mainly because I think what Millie and Liam has is real. I can see it being a similar outcome than what happened with Tommy and Molly May in their season. They seem actual genuine. I'm worried about Chloe and Toby because this is Toby's first relationship. He's so young,
Yeah.
and I can see that in 6 months down the road, even maybe less than that, them splitting. Faye and Teddy, I think Faye's going to have another cracker, and Teddy will lose it and leave her. And Kaz and Tyler, I don't see lasting at all, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. To be honest, the coupling ups this season have been a lot stronger than what I expect. Like, but obviously, take my opinion with a grain of salt because I thought Tommy and Molly were going to break up as soon as they leave. But obviously they're there. But I generally think these four have a good shot at just staying together for more than 6 months. That's my bar. I think 6 months. If it's more than 6 months, that means Love Island worked, in my opinion. If it's less than 6 months, I'm like, then they were just in for the money. But I think all four have a good shot at being together for more than 6 months. Yeah, I do. I think Teddy's seen the worst of Faye, in my opinion. I think Teddy's seen the worst of Faye, but like I have no doubts that obviously things are going to be tough between Teddy, especially between Teddy's family. Because I don't know if you watched the family episode, but Teddy's brothers did not like Faye.
No,
So
not at all. Like, not at all. And when Teddy asked, like, "Oh, what are your thoughts on her?" Like, it was such like an odd feeling conversation. I was like, man, they did not like her.
but I mean, I think they've, like I said, I think they've seen the worst of Faye. Like when's Teddy ever gonna get tested like that in the real world? I don't think he's gonna be tested like that.
Yeah.
So I think, look, I think they have the highest probability of breaking up before 6 months, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they lasted.
That's fair enough. I just think, well, Teddy said out loud that if he was on the outside, he would not go back with her after that whole shebang. So I really think if that happens again, that's not going to last. And I don't see why it won't not happen again. But I feel like they might go for quite some time, maybe like 6 months. But to be honest, the only ones I see going past 6 months is Millie and Liam. But in saying that, though, they both live a hell of well, not even a hell. There's 4 hours away, but.
Did you see the news? So apparently, people in the Love Island are going to move in together. So I think Kaz and Liberty are going to move in together, and Liam and some of the boys are going to live in Essex together in a flat.
Really?
Yeah. So I saw that
funny.
news. So I think everyone's going to move in with the friends they made at Love Island. So I think distance shouldn't be an issue. And I think
That's good.
and Faye and Teddy, I think Faye already did like an Instagram story where she said she and Teddy have looked at a place and they're moving together. But Faye's staying at his place for 3 days, and the rest of the days she's just staying with her current roommate. I think roommate or dog, one of the two.
Right.
So I mean, it seems a lot more serious than people see.
Fair enough. Like I hope by the time the next season comes out, I'm eating my own words and they're together and they're happy. But I just don't see it happening, man. And I'm just going to read a couple comments. So on the Love Island page on the Twitter page, this is on your 2021 winners are Millie and Liam. Okay, so this is on their section. It has 30,000 likes. It has more than just less than double the amount of likes that Chloe and Toby has for second, and more than 4 times the amount of likes than Faye and Teddy and Kaz and Tyler. So let's just settle that in straight away. But comments. The real winners for me. And it's a picture of Teddy and Faye with 177 likes. I don't get that. 4.1k likes is a picture of Liam doing the 3-way kiss. And then saying, I just can't believe this guy got rewarded for cheating. I'm actually screaming. Next one down said, should have been Chloe and Toby. Liam didn't deserve to win the cheat. Does everyone forget that? Let's have a look. Tyler cheated. Faye and Teddy's the only one that didn't cheat, but who would want to give it to Faye after what she did to Teddy? Toby was with 3 different girls. Well, 4 different girls. Well, 3 different girls, but 4 like rounds of people throughout the show.
Yeah.
And Liam also fucked up
Twitter,
as
right?
well. They all someone in each couple completely fucked it. So to me, it's someone saying, and the next comment was 50k to someone that basically cheated on her 2 weeks ago, and it's a gif of Shaq laughing. It has 1.2 thousand likes, but I'm like,
I mean, that's basically Twitter, and I like Twitter is just a cesspit, dude. Like,
it's so cancerous, man. It's so bad. Like I actually can't believe this is reaction. I thought like most people were like, yes, like most genuine couple, thank goodness. Like
on Instagram, it's a lot different. So on Instagram, it's a lot of like, yeah, well done to Million Teddy, and I think not Million Teddy, but I'm talking about Million Liam. Like you said, every at least one person in each couple has done something wrong. So
yeah,
like, and you're never gonna find the perfect couple at all in Love Island history. I don't think.
well, that's it. And I think he paid his. I don't know how to explain that, but like he literally was so upset when obviously she found out, and you can have your argument if he would have told her or not what happened, but we don't know.
Yeah.
But the way he handles them after that, I really liked. He fucking took his time. He let her take control of everything as he should have. Like, I'm not saying that he shouldn't have, but I mean, like a lot of type of guys would have been like, oh well, fuck you. Like, I do what I want. And I mean, I don't know. I think he just handled it really, really well. And I feel like people forget that Tyler, what he did over there at Castlemore was way worse than what Liam did. Like Tyler was making out with people, making out with a girl in a bed with him,
and then brought her back as well. Yeah,
and brought her back as well. Like, do people forget about that? I don't understand the Kaz and Tyler stand saying that Liam cheated when Tyler did worse than what Liam did. But anyway, win some, lose some. Anyway, you want to move on to our best moments, mate?
Definitely. We had enough about the winners. We know the winners. We
know the winners. We're both happy though, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're happy with the winners.
Happy.
Yeah,
but I'll be ecstatic if Chloe and Toby won. But
yeah, I would have been happy with that too. When I heard 3rd and 4th already revealed, like I was sitting there like, I don't really care who wins. I'm like, I'll be happy with either of these people. But I was deep down hoping it would be Millie and Liam, just because I feel like they're a real couple. Anyway, moving on to our best moments. I will kick us off with our first best moment. We got 2, and it has to be the man, the myth, the legend. Toby is involved, of course. And it comes down to a specific moment that brought in many different moments. The specific moment was when Toby says to the boys that his head still lies with Chloe. I feel like that is one of the most memorable moments of this season, because it was just... I feel like if that didn't make you laugh, or at least be shocked, you're lying. Like, I cracked up. Like, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, Toby. You're literally a kid. He was a kid in a candy shop. Didn't know what he wanted, but he finally discovered that, you know, chocolate was his favorite sweet. And he ended up getting back. I think
that moment really showed that he was genuine. Like, he didn't care about what people thought.
Yeah.
That was the moment I was like, yeah, Toby's not playing a game. He's in it for something. So,
well, that's it. And especially as he got like no... Remember, he was in the bottom 3 on 2 occasions when he was with Chloe. So it's like, if he was really playing a game for the win, why would he go back to Chloe, make himself look like an idiot, and he knew that he was in the bottom when he was with her? So it's like, yeah, you can tell 100% that he was being genuine. No, I feel like and then that led on to obviously really funny moments between Toby and Chloe for the rest of the season, and I think that's one of the most memorable relationships. What a roller coaster they had. But I don't know, they're my favorites. To be honest, Chloe and Toby were probably my favorites from nearly the beginning. So I'm glad obviously Toby was a bit of a roller coaster with me, but he never went like down the bottom. He was more like mid-range to top the whole season for me. Yeah. And Chloe was in the top 3 the whole season for me. So I'm glad I stuck true to it.
So my memorable moment, I've got one that I've made up for this and one like honorable mention memorable moment, which I think you'd like as well.
Yep.
So my one is the whole movie night challenge and everything that happened after that, especially Faye and Teddy's argument, because that's what really brought that was like the really like first massive talking point of Love Island. Like
Yeah.
not like the that really brought into account like a person's like personality outside the villa, and it was a huge moment. I think if I'm trying to compare it to like a yeah, it would have probably been like Storm Anna from a couple of seasons ago when Anna and Jordan
And Jordan went
had
at it.
that had a
Yeah.
massive bust up. But that was my memorable moment, and I've also got an honorable mention when they kicked my girl Shannon out of the villa in 15 hours. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know if that's
It was
memorable,
terrible.
mate. It's probably
That's so memorable because that's been in my mind ever since. I was like, what are you doing? How are you
to be
gonna let her
honest,
out like that? That's so disappointing.
to be honest, you're probably not the only one who's thinking that. So I'll give that to you. I'll give that to you as a memorable moment, mate. But yeah, no, very two very memorable moments, especially the first one. Because that led, like you said, that led to a lot of drama, and if anything, people were a lot more engaged in the show, even though a lot of people
Yeah.
complained about how, they shouldn't have aired it and what she did was disgusting. But anyway, it made for good TV. You can't lie. Yeah, no, great best moments. Now let's move on to the next little segment. Who is your most forgettable Islander? So the category is that we've discussed beforehand. It cannot be someone from Casa Amor. Okay, they can
Yeah.
come in as like a intruder, I think they call it. But it can't
Yeah.
be someone from Casa Amor because obviously most of them were only on screen whilst they're at Casa
And
Amor.
a little nugget had to be that person had to have caused some kind of drama. But as soon as they left, you would have to think, oh, who's that again? Oh, I kind of forgot about this Islander. And the person I'm bringing to the table, Dali,
Uh-huh.
had a massive bust up with Hugo about having fake personalities, and had a massive bust up with Aaron for saying because Aaron broke up with her,
Who could this
and
be?
had a weird face. She looked like an angry bird, in my opinion. But I got Sharon as
Shazza.
my most forgettable Love Island this season.
Look, you're probably right. In like a year's time, I was to look back on the show, I would probably forget about it. Like right now, obviously, I'm probably guilty of me because I've watched quite a few interviews with her in it because obviously I'm interested
Yeah,
in what happens on actually behind the scenes. So to me, she's not that forgettable because I've seen her a lot recently. But I'd say, yeah, you're right. By the time next season comes around, she's probably going to be one of those people. And she was in the villa for what? How many days
yeah.
was
She
she
was an
there for?
OG
Like
as well. She was
25,
an OG.
30-ish days?
Yeah,
Like, she was in there for a
yeah.
long time, and yeah, an OG. And do you know what? I tend to agree. My forgettable Islander is an intruder, so maybe a little bit of a cheating. But he did bring some spiciness to the table, and what people are saying on the outside, which I don't know if got aired, or I think people saw tweets or stuff he was saying in the past, called him a racist. His name is Danny. And I remember talking to you
Maybe.
before the show, mate, and you couldn't even remember who Danny was. And I said my point exactly. He was on for about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
He caused a bit of drama, and then he got booted out, and that was the end of him. But I forgot him at the end of the season, to be honest. When I had to think about it, I had to look at the pictures and some of the stuff we went through. That's the only reason why I remembered him. But yeah, look, I will happily forget who he is. That's for sure.
All right,
All right.
Dali. Who's your
Yeah.
most memorable Islander?
Oh, see, for me, it's got to be only like one of three people. You have one
Okay.
of the other persons that I think.
Yeah.
I think another one could be Kaz for the drama that she was involved in, and she's an OG. But for me, it has to be Faye. Just
Okay.
because of the drama she was involved in. If you don't remember who Faye was on Love Island in like 10 Love Islands time, you're not a Love Island watcher. Like,
Yeah.
you know who these people are. I remember Anna for the rest of my life from that thing because she caused so much drama, and it was probably the most juicy thing of the season. And like we said, like probably one of the best moments of the season, even though maybe not best, but most memorable moments of the season was created by Faye. So I think you'd be lying to yourself if you think she's a forgettable person or just someone in the background. How about you, mate? What are your thoughts?
So I've got two people. My honorable mention is I don't think you're expecting, but I think it is going to be Millie. Not because she won, but because of her reaction and the memes she produced. I don't know if you've seen all the memes
Yeah,
going around
I've
Instagram
seen
and
the
stuff like that
memes.
about her, of her playing the piano and just that piano thing photoshopped into every single famous event. And also she had some pretty good, I think, facial reactions that have been memed as well. So I think on that case, she's on my list. But I mean, my actual memorable island is coming close to Faye, but I think it's our boy, the
It has to be.
forward for #United,
Yeah.
Toby.
Toby.
I mean, like I don't think you can argue. I think he started off as a playboy who was coupled up with Kaz, didn't want to make a commitment, had a massive speech about the kiss, and then was in a bit of drama when he ditched Kaz to go with Chloe, and then he coupled up with someone else, which brought another massive drama, and then went to Casa Amor, brought another girl back, and only for him to realize that Chloe is the one he should have been with from the beginning, and ended up coming up second. So Toby had like the full arc of a fucking 3-hour movie, and for that, Toby, and for making my Love Island experience memorable, here's my award to you.
That's so fair. I feel like if you had to have a nickname for Toby, it would be Moving Mad Toby. I think he's the definition of moving mad. The way he conducted himself throughout this. But I mean, like, in not even like a bad way. Like, he handled a couple of them pretty badly, but I wouldn't say he handled himself horribly. But what a guy.
And if you think about the previous seasons, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to point out like a male islander who was very memorable.
That's true.
I think it's always been like, I don't know, Amber or Molly May or Anna or even Amy. Maybe Curtis might be a good shout. Curtis could have been a good shout. And I think Toby was memorable in a different way. He didn't. It's just his personality that brought it out, not what he did in the villa. So I think, that's my.
That's a great.
Award
Very
for
fair. Very fair. Very fair. I completely understand. Well, let's move on to our next little segment, which is, what are our final thoughts on Love Island 2021?
Look, I'll be straight here. This is not my most favorite season yet. I still think that season with Tommy and Molly May is better.
Yeah.
But if I'm giving a rating out of 10, I'd give that season probably a 9.
Yep.
An 8.5, a 9. And I think this one would probably be on the scale of maybe a 6.5, 7.
Yep. I completely agree, mate.
Like it's not that the islanders were a lot different. It's just that the challenges came at weird times, and then the challenges that did happen early on was very boring. Like it took forever for the drama to actually start. Whereas the other seasons, the drama starts from the very beginning, and it's just hit after hit after hit that it just keeps coming. But this one is just like, it took for a while. The first massive drama that I remember that I'm like, oh, it's actually kicking off now, was when Toby decided that he wanted to pick Chloe up, couple up with Chloe, and Hugo had that massive speech about Toby not being a good person or something. That was for me when the drama actually really started, and that was what, like 19, 20 days in.
Yep. Yeah, literally, it was.
So
it was within probably 3 weeks. That's crazy. That's totally fair, dude. Like, I would rate it pretty much identical to you, dude. Like an 8.5, 9 for the Molly May season, and then this would be more of like a 6.5, 7, probably a 7 for me. Just because the second half of the season was pretty juicy, but I don't know. I just feel like some ones it was a bit juicy for the wrong reasons. Like I feel like, Faye added a lot of drama, but a lot of the time it was just a bit, I don't know. She just went over the top a lot.
Unnecessary, yeah.
Unnecessary, yeah. Like it could have been better drama. Like I liked Anna's drama because whenever she got into an argument, it was sort of like the guys would also argue back, so it wasn't such like a one-sided thing, and it wouldn't be wouldn't tell them like go and fuck off, or it was sort of just like an argument. I don't know. This one was
And
actual abuse in my opinion. But
I felt like there was a lot of like manufactured drama here. Like for example, like when the postcard came in, and it just felt like I think even the producers felt like, oh, it was going too slow, so you might just actively do something to kick the drama up. But whereas
without
the
a
previous season, this just happened naturally, and that you can tell that, like to anyone watching, you're like, oh, why would they do that? That's not in their character arc or in their personality to do that. Whereas the producers had to kind of kick it into gear.
Without a doubt,
And that
and
kind
then
of put me off there.
Yeah, they knew Faye as someone that has, issues when it comes to commitment, and wasn't talking like somewhat negatively about Teddy and how he was. They're like, yep, well, we'll throw this picture of Teddy in there, and that'll spice things up because we know how much of a fire rocket that she is.
They did all of that, but they never brought in like a proper girl for Jake in like the first 2 weeks, something like that.
Literally, dude. Mate, they didn't bring a proper girl in for Jake ever. No one was ever interested in him.
Yeah, and then that's what kind of made me like kind of bored, because they're like, all right, Jake and Liberty are together, and I don't see, even though Jake had second thought, he's never going to move away from Liberty because none of them is their type. And then once they did bring someone in, like for example, Kasha and Moore, everyone just kept away from Jake because they thought he was taken, and it's just I think when Tommy was there, they had like people fighting over Tommy. Like Maura was fighting, Molly was fighting, and Lucy was fighting. It was just like,
oh, so good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There wasn't like a lot of fighting
also,
over people. Like a lot of people. Like the only time it was Toby, but Toby sort of got out of it pretty quickly in each time.
And my taste for Love Island this season had already been soured when they kicked off my girl Shannon in the first 15 hours. So I'm still a bit bitter about that.
Didn't leave a good taste in your mouth, did it?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Poor guy. But I feel like what would be like a main improvement then you'd want to see after next season? Because mine would be like what you said. Try to bring in, obviously they would try to anyway, but they really need to bring in someone who was into Jake, like really, but like that could have been such a big storyline. That's why everyone thought the producers were favoring Jake and Liberty at the beginning, because they didn't even put a photo of Jake kissing the girl in the challenge, not the challenge, but you know what I mean. Like they just put a picture of him a meter away from a girl with his arms stretched out. I'm like, mate, that doesn't look like anything. Like he could have really they could have really spiced things up there, but they didn't. So I feel like they need to try and make it as natural as possible by bringing in as many. As soon as they see like a strong couple forming, they need to bring in someone who's either really interested in the person of obviously the other sex or whatever. To the girl and a guy, just to really spice things up within like the first week.
Yeah, and I get like one of the main appeals of Love Island is the looks and how people look and how people dress. So I think a good way to like kind of create like manufactured drama, if that's your goal, would be to have more drama creating events. Challenges at the start, as opposed to more sex appeal challenges at the start. Because at the start, it was all mainly just sex appeal challenges, not
get the
drama
views up.
challenges.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like, I can understand what they're doing, because obviously you're not really strong in a couple, and people move around, and that's what it is. But I mean, sometimes people get that instant connection, and you need to test it. Like you need to get in there real quick, and you just start throwing in people who are actually attractive.
So for
Some
for
people, I was
example,
like,
right?
why is this person in here?
Yeah, for example, I think this season was the complete opposite of Love Island Australia season 2. Like I think that Australia season 2 is still dog shit compared to anything. That's probably one of my worst seasons ever. But it's the fact that they started off with so much drama and they just petered off towards the
Yeah,
end.
it piddled out. Yeah, yep. That's
Yeah.
so true.
So like they could bring like more outside noise, like some like for example, like something a person has done in the previous season that makes them like second guess themselves. Like maybe they said, oh, this person has cheated on his girlfriend 10 out of the 11 times. And then everybody will be like, oh, is that Jake? Oh, that's putting second thoughts in my head. This
Yeah,
creates a conversation,
yeah,
right? And then like he doesn't have to like know them deeply for that to occur. Like, you feel like getting to know someone and that thing comes up and you're like, oh, that's a red flag.
yeah,
Because that's happened to me before. It's just there's different ways you can like create drama from the beginning. It doesn't have to be like movie magic or just something like that. It can be like some tiny things that can create proper drama out of nothing. So that's probably my biggest improvement. Just more drama from the start.
yeah. No, mate, I completely agree. I feel like they used to do challenge like that, and as much as I love the movie challenge, and I hope they challenge, movie thing, I hope they keep that in.
Yeah.
I just really think they need to make those challenges at the beginning rather than like, oh, who's had a threesome? You have to, who do you think's had a like you said, like
Yeah.
who has cheated on their girlfriend every single time? Like
Yeah.
who has done? Yeah, it needs to be more spicy. Like that's it. Put doubt in their minds straight away, rather than letting it build to a point where it sounds, mate. This sounds horrible talking about this, by the way. We need to make them stress from the beginning. But I mean, this is a TV show. At the end of the day, you can't. I'm sick of the massive manufacturing of drama that happened this season. Like they had
Yeah.
to, and like I don't blame them because it was really dry in that first 3 weeks. Like you said, first 20-ish days was dry, and I was like,
Like,
God, this is slow.
I don't even remember watching the Snug Marry Kill challenge because there was nothing that was memorable like about that. Because usually you get some like I think last season, um, I think there was a whole because Curtis and Amy were together, and then there's this whole drama that happened because Curtis picked the wrong girl that kissed her. But this season there was like nothing
Completely
because
agree.
all the girls were pretty scared to actually go full out because
Yeah.
that's what didn't matter.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't help with the ratings when you evict the most attractive girl that's been on the show within the first 15 hours. What a joke this TV show is, man. What an absolute
Yeah.
joke.
That's a memorable moment for sure, mate. I'm glad you chucked it in there. That's so funny. That's one of the funniest moments. Oh my goodness, poor thing. Didn't get any clout off of it either, really. But
Yeah.
anyway, well, probably the last thing is next season, mate. I'm wanting to obviously have more like categories for us to go through. But we're going to try and keep it around that 40-minute mark because obviously, especially if you're listening right now, when it goes over an hour, it's pretty dry. So we're going to try and keep it as compact as possible and not try and rant for so long because I feel like I can go on a tangent very, very easily. So I think that's something that we are going to work on for next season, is to try and bring out maybe a couple of episodes per week, and condense it to about 40 minutes per episode. Anyway, is there anything else you'd like to add, mate, before we wrap it up?
Nothing much.
Nothing
Subscribe
much?
and
Mate,
watch.
yeah,
like.
if you're that's it. If you're listening right now, make sure you've hit that subscribe button. Give the video a like,
Be
and if you have
creative.
any
Be
suggestions
creative.
or questions for us that you want us to answer or want us to include in our next season, please throw it in the comments. We'd love to know. And we'll give you a shout out on that straight away on our first video. I might even do a video shout out as well.
If you might never know, we might jump on and do a surprise podcast in the middle of between seasons, just talking about random shit.
That's it. Who knows?
You wouldn't.
Who
Who
knows?
knows what's gonna
Who
happen?
knows? Exactly.
Who
You know
knows?
what? And we might, you know what? We might be doing the US. We might be doing the Australian one, depending on how that goes.
Oh yeah, that's gonna count as well.
Yeah, the Australian one's coming out soon, so just keep your ears to the ground, and
Ears to the ground.
that's it. I'm gonna be trying to be a bit more active on their Twitter account, build up our followers a little bit, and hopefully by our next season we'll have 15 subscribers. Huge milestone.
Yeah, and our classic factory is now closed because we're going fishing. We're on Christmas break at the moment.
That's
In
it,
the
Christmas
in the
break.
factory. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
See, we're rambling on again. Let's
We're
finish this
rambling.
podcast,
Let's
guys.
wrap this up. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Swaggy P, for you know, having all these conversations by the day. But it's been an absolute pleasure, mate.
Yep. You too, darling. And
Mate.
peace out.
Peace out. We will see you in the next one. Goodbye.